Welcome back to PC Hoops with Coach Kim English. We are now joined by Kevin McNamara of WPRO, and K-Mac has been inducted into the United States Basketball Writers Association. K-Mac, congratulations. You deserve every bit of that.
I really appreciate it. I'll be inducted at the Final Four, and I haven't been to a Final Four in a few years, so I'm looking forward to attending with my family, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Down in San Antonio.
Appreciate it, in San Antonio.
That's fantastic. Going to get some great basketball. Going to get some great basketball here in Providence in the next couple days. All right, let's talk about the Friars.
Hey, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hey! Exactly. Look at that green.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. Got to have the corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
The Friars this season.
Sure.
It's now concluded, 12-20. You first round exit on the first day of the Big East tournament. Your overall thoughts? I know it wasn't the season that everyone expected, but where do you start us off here?
You know, in retrospect, really hard to keep this group together. And I think that's the negative of the season is they battled. They battled. But if you look at the way it ended, losing 9 of 10 or whatever it was down the stretch, still some competitive efforts, but just couldn't get over the top. And maybe that's just, too many injuries, too much wear and tear, wearing down. A losing situation is tough to snap out of. I think we were hoping for that with a couple of the home games down the stretch, and then to lose in the Big East tournament the way they did. Same thing, just not enough in the tank. Is that a young coach? Kim English finished his 4th year as a head coach, one of the youngest coaches in the league. Maybe it's a reflection of that. But it all goes back to the injuries. It really does. And I think overall, in my eyes, a lack of overall talent. I think that needs to be upgraded, and I know Kim's already referenced that in the show here, that the transfer portal time is here. It's here.
It's the most important time coming up for him and his staff in what's going to be a vital year coming up for him now next in year 3.
Well, and he made reference to it, and we've talked about it on the show. It's speed dating. I call it speed dating. It's hard. It's really hard. I think the Friars are going to need multiple hits in the transfer portal. Difficult to do. You think some of the teams that are coming in this weekend in the NCAA tournament, they have hits, they have misses. If they're going to be, I don't know how many transfers they'll bring in, if it's 5, 6, if they can hit on 3 of 6, that's really good. They probably need more than that, but it's really hard. Retention and addition, that's going to be the mix for the Friars.
And you have these 2 freshmen, Ryan Mila, Oswin Arwunsei. Can you keep them?
I think they can keep them. I don't know if they'll keep them. Right. I know that Kim's referenced he's meeting with all the players, all the coaches this week. It's, again, this sport, Rick Pitino's talked about it, 1-year contracts. All my guys are on 1-year contracts. Like, 1-year contracts? You think about it, yes. R.J. Lewis is the player of the year in the league. He has college eligibility remaining. Could they lose R.J.? Sure they could.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. He's the player of the year in the league. If, I don't know, North Carolina, BYU, anybody comes in and offers him a ridiculous amount, St. John's might not keep R.J. Lewis. I think they will. I think he'll be back. But that's the sport right now. Same thing with the Friars and anyone who they would like to keep.
Do you believe that Bryce Hopkins will be back next season in Friartown?
I have no insight on that. I wish I did. You know, we really haven't had a chance to talk with Bryce very much. Oh. I don't think it's Bryce's decision as much as it's Providence's. What do they want to do with their salary cap? They're running a salary cap. Kim has said he'd like to keep him. So I believe that's what he said publicly. I think they'd like to keep Bryce Hopkins. If I'm Providence, and I don't know what Bryce makes, they need another player at Bryce's salary figure. Another one.
Yep.
Because I don't know if I want to build it around a guy who hasn't played, in a year and a half.
Right. Yeah. No. It's been a long time. I mean, it was early January in 2024.
Yes. Well, I think Kim said he's played in 3 Big East games in 2 years.
It's been a long time.
Do you want that to be your number 1 guy?
Right.
I don't.
Right. And it's hard to get back to your form when you've been away from the game for that long. But other than that,
and he's a good player.
He is.
I want him on my team.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want someone just as good, which tough to find.
It is. And every school wants to retain players.
Absolutely.
It's not just Providence that wants to retain players.
And might lose someone they'd like to keep.
Exactly. Like you were just saying, it's a 1-year deal for all these guys, which is pretty unbelievable to think about the landscape of college basketball. I think you need another big man.
Sure.
You do. I mean, you hit on Bensley Joseph. They relied on the 3 ball a lot, but having a guy, say you keep Oswin, you need a guy behind him because obviously Christos Sonico did not pan out for them this year.
I don't know what his plan is. My guess is Providence would not want him back. We'll find out soon enough. The transfer portal, by the way, it's ridiculous. It should open the day after the national championship game. It opens a week from today.
Unbelievable.
At the dawn of the Sweet 16. It's crazy.
So I completely agree.
We'll have a lot of names, entering the transfer portal next Monday and Tuesday. But to your point, yes, I don't know if Krisa Sandico is just not a good mix for Providence, not for this coaching staff. It didn't work. They definitely need a scoring big man. We know what Oswin is. He's a defensive player. I think he'll keep getting better. They need Noah Hawkler. A couple of years ago.
Yes.
6'8", 6'9", 6'10", who can step away, handle the ball, shoot a little bit. Josh Aduro, we know how talented he is. Again, tough to find. Those are really good players. I think they also need a proven wing scorer, and they definitely need another guard, a ball-handling guard.
Of course. I mean, Jaden Pierre, say he stays, and you need another guy because Bensley's gone.
I'd take two more.
Yeah.
I want another scoring guard like a Bensley Joseph, and I want another guy who can handle the ball, set people up. Kim English knows more than anybody. College basketball is about guards. Guard depth is very important. Clearly this year, the combo of Jaden and Bensley got worn out by the end of the year. They were dead tired.
Right.
There wasn't anyone in the bullpen.
Right. Yeah, 100%. That's a great way of putting it, the bullpen. All right, let's shift gears. The NCAA tournament here in Providence.
Yeah.
How great's that going to be? I mean, you're going to have Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Bill Self. You're going to have a lot of great coaches. I mean, Matt Painter.
Will Wade.
Yeah. I mean, a terrific slate coming to Providence. How excited are you to see it for the first time since 2016?
Yeah, I wasn't here in 2016. I was with the Friars. That was the year they went to Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
Won a game and had to play North Carolina and Raleigh. Sounds like a fair deal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm super excited about it. You know, I got a lot of friends who cover St. John's. They're so excited. You know, think about it. They come into Providence. Oftentimes they take the train up the day of the game. They cover the game. They go home. These guys haven't enjoyed Providence, and they have a chance to be here, as does St. John's and their coaching staff and their fans, for several days. I remember, I think the previous one would have been maybe 2011 or 2009. Villanova came in. Jay Wright had a very good team. Same thing. He had never. He grabbed me 3 days in. He's like, I came back. Providence is great. I understand. I'm like, Jay, you've been to Providence about 20 times.
Right.
I've never spent 3 nights in a row in Providence. So to the point where I believe he sent his son to Brown to play baseball a few days after that, because they had stayed on the east side. He loved walking around the east side. So it's a great way to expose a city in the state.
It is. And I mean, a lot of businesses are going to be booming downtown. There's no doubt about that. But the level of basketball, too. I mean, you think about the teams, right? You think about St. John's, who's coming in, Purdue, who went to the national championship.
Clemson had a very good year.
They did. They had a very good year. We could be seeing some really high-level basketball on Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, and watch out for High Point. And McNeese State. I've seen them both as chic upset picks, and we've seen 12 and 13s win over the years. Those games could be, everyone's like, well, the nighttime games are the starrier games. The afternoon games could be those upset specials that everyone likes to watch.
100%. Do you see Rick Pitino getting that standing ovation at the AMP for this first game? He talked about it to the media yesterday. He doesn't think that it's going to be like that because the NCAA tournament brings a lot of different fans from different backgrounds around. It might not be exactly like a Providence home game.
Yeah, I think the math is roughly about half the place, maybe 7,000 were Providence fans. They like Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
He's not booed when he's introduced.
No.
That's positive.
Yeah.
But half of the house is really not St. John's or Big East fans.
Right.
So I think Rick's probably more correct about that. Now, if they win, they beat Omaha, and they play Saturday afternoon against Arkansas, St. John's fans will be coming en masse to take those extra tickets. So I think there'll be more of an ovation, more of a home court advantage for the Red Storm on Saturday than on Thursday. The other thing about Providence, and this is the NCAA people tell me this all the time, you turn on the TV, those noon games, there's nobody there. And they gradually come in. In Providence, they're there. The size of the arena is big time. And also, you can see it on TV, and the NCAA really enjoys that.
And it's easy to get to. Right, it's right downtown.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of road closures and everything, but it's going to be a great time. Imagine if you get, I believe Arkansas, the winner of that Kansas-Arkansas game will be playing the winner of the Omaha-St. John's game.
Yeah, so if you have Calipari and Pitino, or Self and Pitino, it will be the #1 game on Saturday afternoon for. Well, it better be Saturday afternoon. It's not Saturday night. Saturday afternoon in the tournament, which would be great.
It'd be amazing. We know who's going to be there. John Fanta, our good friend John Fanta. He will be coming to Providence. A lot of these guys are.
All those New Yorkers are coming. They're already hitting me. Where are we going out? Where are we going out? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it.
We got to cover the games.
I'm like the mayor. Yeah.
Of course he is. The Hall of Famer Kevin McNamara. Thanks for joining us this season on PC Hoops with Coach Kim English.
It was a lot of fun.
Always a pleasure, and hopefully next year we have a better result in the record.
A little bit.